The April 2009 cover of Newsmax magazine pictures Jesus with outstretched arms under the heading, "The Jesus Question, Will He Ever Return?" The article notes that 1 in 5 Americans believe that Christ will return in the present generation, and that 20% say the global life expectancy is just a couple of decades. After laying out all the end-time polling and Americans' views, Newsmax says, so the idea that creation's clock could strike midnight at any time turns out to be as American as apple pie, pink slips, and debt collectors. If you mix the morning headlines into the average American's eschatology, you stir up quite a powerful angst-inducing brew. The headlines do seem to parallel the end-time biblical template more and more every day. Conditions in our world today do feel strangely like the apocalypse. I recently heard someone say that apocalypse is in the air. One of the chief fears in the world that contributes to this pervasive feeling is the dreaded outbreak of a pandemic plague. We've all seen the headlines about the threat of an outbreak. The swine flu was the lead story on network and cable news for months. The world is gripped with fear of a global pandemic. Nations all over the globe find themselves bracing for the worst, but no one knows at this point if an outbreak, when it hits, can be successfully contained. In his stunning sermon from the Mount of Olives 2 days before he died on the cross, Jesus highlighted some of the major signs of his coming back to earth to rule and reign. In Luke 21:11, Jesus said, "And there will be great earthquakes, and in various places plagues and famines." Could the feared pandemics that threaten us today and capture the headlines be part of this prophecy given almost 2,000 years ago? About 60 years after the prophecy of Jesus about end-time plagues, the Apostle John, while exiled to the island of Patmos, peered into the future and saw global pandemics that would sweep the earth, killing millions, even billions, in the end times. The fourth horseman of the apocalypse in Revelation 6:8, the rider on the pale horse, wipes out 1/4 of the world's population by several means, including pestilence or disease, which most likely refers to worldwide plagues that will sweep the globe during the coming 7-year tribulation period. Revelation 6:8 also says that another means of the death and the tribulation will be the wild beasts of the earth. Now, haven't you noticed that all these new diseases erupting all over the world come from animals, the beasts of the earth? This is another piece of the end-time puzzle that's fitting into place. A host of new killer viruses have jumped from the animal world to humans in recent years. There have been so many new diseases cropping up lately, it's really difficult to keep up with them all. There's AIDS, Ebola, West Nile virus, Lyme disease, mad cow disease, SARS, bird flu, and most likely the swine flu. And all of these plagues come from the wild beasts of the earth, just as the Bible predicted over 1,900 years ago. No one can say for sure that any plagues or pandemics we currently see on the horizon are the ones predicted by Jesus or John, but it's clear that the world stage is ripe for the kind of global scourge predicted in the Bible for the end times. Drug-resistant flu strains and diseases from animals are mutating faster than researchers can keep up. And globalism, rapid means of travel, and dense urban populations make it much easier for disease to spread than at any other time in history. What we see today points toward the words of Jesus in Luke 21:11 and John's prophecy in Revelation 6:8. It strikingly foreshadows what lies ahead for planet Earth during the dreadful days of the end. The world climate is just what Jesus predicted for the end times. His coming could be very soon.